This is Twit.
When the Xbox One launches later in November, you're going to be able to watch live TV, but do a lot of other things too, like customize the TV guide to show SkyDrive folders appear as channels, stream media that you host on your local PC using Xbox Music or Xbox Video, stream your SkyDrive media from the cloud, plug in any HDMI device in and use through the Xbox One, and for cord cutters, enable app channels so that you can browse Hulu, Netflix, or even SkyDrive content. Sounds pretty okay.
Sounds nifty to me. Want to get an inside look at the PS4? Well, Wired has an article for you. Sony's director of its mechanical engineering team in charge of the PS4, Yasuhiro Otori, took apart a PS4 over the course of an hour and a half. Wired has a bunch of pictures of the first PS4 teardown. For you neat freaks, you'll be glad to know that the PS4's power adapter is inside the console. No need for an external power brick.
Stephen Elop, a candidate to replace Steve Ballmer as Microsoft's chief executive officer, may consider making Office software programs like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint available on a broad variety of smartphones and tablets, including Apple's and Google's. This is according to people familiar with his thinking. That's a new one. Microsoft is shifting from software to focus on hardware and services, and of course searching for a new CEO after Ballmer retires. Elop and of course Ford Motor Company CEO Alan Mulally are both top candidates for now.
Reuters reports that Edward Snowden used other people's login credentials to access some of the classified material he leaked to the press. Snowden may have used some social engineering tricks to obtain the usernames and passwords of over 20 NSA workers in the NSA Regional Operations Center in Hawaii. Snowden told them he needed that information to do his job as a computer systems administrator.
Sneaky. The Google Barge mystery is really the gift that keeps on giving. When completed, it will be a, quote, unprecedented artistic structure sporting a dozen or so gigantic sails to be moored for a month at a time at sites around the San Francisco Bay. Documents submitted to the Port of San Francisco show that when it's done, the barge could be a 50-foot tall, 250-foot-long structure made of recycled shipping containers and flanked by sails reminiscent of fish fins, their words, not mine, which will remind visitors that they are on a seaworthy vessel.
In case they didn't notice the water around them.
The barge is back. It's awesome again.
Another Tesla Model S went up in flames on Wednesday. It's the third fire in the past 5 weeks for Tesla. Now, the company says the fire wasn't spontaneous and was the result of an accident after the car hit road debris. So far, all 3 fires were chalked up to accidents. Tesla's stock price is also taking a beating. On Wednesday, its stock dropped about 14% on news of weak earnings. Thursday, it dropped another 7%.
Eek. NVIDIA co-founder, president, and CEO Jensen Huang loves Android. In fact, he really, really loves Android. After announcing NVIDIA's third quarter financial results yesterday, Huang said, quote, Android is the most disruptive operating system that we've seen in a few decades. In a couple of decades. Also, the vast majority of Windows on ARM will be Surface, but, quote, the vast majority of everything else on Tegra is Android. Pivoting into a post-PC world, NVIDIA, smart move.
Facebook's testing a new feature for business pages on the desktop version of Facebook, Star Ratings. The Star Ratings were first reported by TechCrunch thanks to a tipster, and Facebook has since confirmed the test. The company began collecting Star Ratings with the introduction of Nearby on mobile in early 2012. Facebook says the Star Ratings will, quote, make it easier for people to discover great businesses around them.
The SD Association has just unveiled an ultra-high-speed Class 3, or U3 card format that handles 4K video. The spec guarantees write performance of at least 30 megabits per second or enough bandwidth to record 4K clips without hiccups. You'll have to wait for U3-capable devices and cards to begin shooting, of course, but shouldn't be long before you can produce footage worthy of one of those Ultra HD TVs, which we'll probably see a lot of at CES. Just a hunch.
Gogo Wireless, providers of in-flight Wi-Fi, introduced a new technology that will allow smartphone users to make calls and send text messages as they normally would while they're in the air. Texts and calls are routed through the aircraft's wireless network in conjunction with Gogo's air-to-ground connection. Now, for the user, your phone will remain in airplane mode because your phone won't be using a cellular connection. The calls are made possible using a Gogo app, which will be available for iOS and Android. A Windows Phone version is coming in the future.